Okay, Wildcats. Today we're looking at Wednesday, January 16th, imaginary numbers and complex numbers on page 43. If you would, update your table of contents. All right, now your table of contents is updated. Let's take a look at our notes. Imaginary numbers and complex numbers on page 43. Imaginary number is a number that is expressed in terms of a square root of a negative number. So I is the square root of negative 1. Now I squared, you square the square root, which we know that becomes the power of 1, so I squared is equal to negative 1. All right, a complex number is a number that can be expressed in the form of a plus bi, where a and b are real numbers and I is the square root of negative 1. Every complex number has a real part a and an imaginary part b. So the real part a plus the imaginary part bi. All right, so if you would, finish up your notes. Now your notes are updated. Let's take a look at our examples. All right. Add, subtract, and multiply imaginary numbers and complex numbers. Example 1, graph. So to graph this, we need to write it in the form of a plus bi. So this would be 2 is equivalent to 2 plus 0i. So to graph it, we go in the real part 2. Since it's 0i, we stay here. So this is point A. Okay. Now, negative 3i is written 0 minus 3i. So there's no real part, and we go down 3i, and that's B. 2 plus 4i, so we go to the right 2, up 4i, so this is C. Okay. D is negative 4 plus 5i, so we go left negative 4, up 5i, so this is D. E, so we go to the right 2, down 3, so this is E. All right. Simplify the expression. Example 2. So here, if there's not a number in front of the parentheses, we just combine terms. So we combine the negative 2 and the 3. So negative 2 and 3 combines to be 1. And then we combine I mark those out. And now we combine 4i and negative 11i, which is negative 7i. All right. Now here, because there's a negative in front of the parentheses, we put a 1 and multiply by 1. So here we just have 4 minus, we put a 1 in front of the I. Now we multiply negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. Negative 1 times 8 is a negative 8i. So now we combine terms. So I'm going to combine the 4 and the negative 5. So 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Mark those out because I'm done with those. Now we combine the negative 1i and the negative 8i becomes negative 9i, or minus 9i. All right, same thing here. We have to multiply the second here by negative 1. So then we have 10 plus 3i. And then negative 1 times 10 is negative 10. Negative 1 times negative 4 is a positive 4i. So then we combine terms. So we combine the 10 and the negative 10, which is 0. We're done with this. Now we combine the 3i and the 4i, which is plus 7i. All right, example 5. So here there's nothing to multiply either term, so we can go straight to combining like terms. So 6 minus 6 is 0. So we're done with those terms. And then negative 2i plus 2i is plus 0i. simplify the expression. Example 6. Well, here we just multiply. So then that's negative 6 times 5 is negative 30. I times I is I squared. Well, we know from our notes that I squared is negative 1. So negative 30 times negative 1 is a positive 30. All right, example 7. So we distribute 2i times 3 and negative 5i. So 2i times 3 is 6i. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. I times I is I squared. And then that's 6i. I squared is negative 1. Now we want to put it in the order of a plus bi. So negative 10 times negative 1 is a positive 10, so it's 10 plus 6i. Brighten this up a little bit. All right, so again we distribute. So negative 2i times 2 is negative 4i. Negative 2 times negative 4 is a positive 8. And then I times I is I squared. So we have negative 4i plus 8. I squared is negative 1, so negative 1. And again, we want to put in the form of a plus bi, so that's negative 8 minus 4i. All right, example 9. Now here, when we multiply these, we want to actually use the box method. So I'm going to draw a box. So 5 minus 6i times 4 minus 3i. So 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times negative 6 is 6, 12, 24. So negative 24i. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15i. And then negative 3 times negative 6 is a positive 18i squared. So now we have 20. Negative 15i minus 24i. And then plus 18i squared. That's 20. Negative 15i minus 24i is negative 39i. Plus 18i squared is negative 1. So you have 20 minus 39i minus 18. 20 minus 18 is 2, so you have 2 minus 39i. All right, example 10. So again, we draw a box. So 7 plus 2i. And then 7 minus 2i. So 7 times 7 is 14. Whoa, not 14. What am I doing? And it's a common mistake people do is they add when they're multiplying, but 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 2 is 14i. Negative 2i times 7 is negative 14i. Negative 2 times negative 2, or 2 is negative 4. I times I is I squared. So here, negative 14i and 4i, they cancel. So you're left with 49 minus 4. I squared is negative 1. So then that's 49 plus 4, which is 53. All right. So again, we draw our box. So 4 minus 4i and 6 minus 1i. So 6 times 4 is 6, 12, 18, 24. 6 times negative 4i is negative 24i. That is negative 4i. And then negative 1 times a negative is a positive 4i squared. So then we have 24. You can combine these here, so that's minus 28i plus 4i squared is negative 1. Well, 24 minus 4 is 20, so that's 20 minus 28i. All right, so if you would finish up your examples and start working on your assignment and have a wonderful Wildcat